Hi, this is Chuck Oliver. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Solution Review. Well, boomers and retirees, it is time to recalibrate our retirement around the area of taxation and savings deterioration. And I talk about on Hidden Wealth Radio, Phil and Stacy, clients likely like many of you watching this, that had serious concerns about what can they do to control and protect and secure their retirement, especially with this world gone mad under this Federal Reserve, under this Bidenomics BS, under just a wacky scenario that we're going through with this runaway inflation, runaway government spending, and of course the list just goes on and on and on. And if that wasn't enough, you know, they literally, the Treasury Secretary who came out in this last week or so, Janet Yellen, said that they're going to do everything in their power to balance this budget over the next 10 years. Folks, they're not balancing any budget. They're adding trillions to that budget. In fact, they added $2 trillion, truth be told, over last year's budget of deficit spending, $2 trillion of deficit spending, folks. And who's going to pay for this? Well, you know exactly who's going to pay for this. So if you're somebody sitting there saying, hey, I'm trying to get to retirement, trying to find a better way and strategy to get better through retirement, know that there's a distinct difference between the accumulation phase, which many people are still trapped in, and the distribution phase. One is grow, grow, grow. The other is strategizing on how you spend this money down. And a number of you, just like Phil and Stacy, came to us and said, look, we're staring these required minimum distributions. This is when the government, I call it retirement mass destruction is what RMD typically stands for most clients that have worked hard and saved hard in these IRAs and 401ks. And if you don't do something about it, folks, I can assure you the federal government's going to do something for you. And that's tax you to smithereens. And we're seeing it, but this is before all this other, not just $2 trillion of deficit spending just this year over last year, but the almost $5 trillion being proposed and counting that's been proposed in this new fiscal budget that just kicked off here in October. Do you realize that the debt servicing alone is going to cost an additional $1 trillion? And that's not paying down any debt, folks. That's coming right out of the Treasury's actual numbers, not what the Treasury wants you to believe, but what the actual numbers are. I'm going to be teaching this Tuesday at retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com. And I want to leave you with this, that Phil and Stacy said, wow, we're really concerned about these required minimum distributions. And folks, we have a few things against us and a few things for us. Time is now it's ticking quickly, tick tock, right? Because the Tax Cut and Jobs Act is going to sunset, and all the tax rates are going to pop up, if they don't pop up even more than what they used to be, about 3% across the board. Secondly, the standard deduction is going to get dropped in half. But also, sadly, deductions are now being dissipated, right? The federal government, because they want to spend more, right? They're pushing through all these spending initiatives, but they're also dropping and lowering these tax deductions, one of which I'm going to teach you Tuesday that Phil and Stacy were like, wow, you're saying that I can get 100% tax deduction. Now, it's about 75% the first year, but you can use up the rest of the 25% over the next following years. But 75%, folks, on $200,000 is $150,000. Well, we were able to show Phil and Stacy how to take that $150,000 of their IRA, and we do this in conjunction with our tax team that are tax planners with retirement wealth planning, our wealth planning, and in conjunction with both the left and right hand knowing what they're doing, we were able to actually help them move $150,000 of their IRA to Roth IRA, costing them $0 in tax. Getting the federal government to subsidize Roth conversions is one of the fun things that our firm does that we'd love to teach you as well. Go to retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com. The thing that's working against this, folks, is the time we have remaining of this year, not just what's remaining in the Tax Cut and Jobs Act before it sunsets at the end of 2025, but before you get hit with the government forcing you out. And some of you may already be into your required minimum distributions. We'll teach you how to reduce them and ideally eliminate them. For those of you that haven't got there, ideally, let's eliminate them before you even get exposed to required minimum distribution. And for those of you just saying, well, Chuck, I'm living off my IRAs because that's where I save my money and I'm getting hammered on taxes because I have no more tax deductions, let's show you how to get more of your income tax-free. So reducing your income tax, reducing, right, your Social Security tax, preventing Medicare tax, and preventing inheritance tax, folks. We'll teach you those things this coming Tuesday, but we'll also teach you, I'll leave you with this, how not just to have the deterioration, right, loss of your retirement savings to taxation, but also the deterioration of your hard-earned retirement savings to the market. I'm going to teach you indexing, upside without downside, but also with removing taxation and the savings exposure of deterioration. Folks, you work hard for your money. Imagine more financial success, less stress, less worry. And here's one of the first things I'd like for you to do. If you want to know the tax risk road you're on, we created a calculator as a resource. It's free. In under 30 seconds, you can see how much tax risk you're exposed to or will be exposed to, as well as your children. Go to retirementtaxcalculator.com. That's retirementtaxcalculator.com. And when you see that, register. It's a complimentary log on and learn educational webinar at retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com. And let me give you real solutions with a track record of measurable results, with arguably, per our tax team, the greatest tax deduction known to mankind, before they take it away. See, they're already rumoring eliminating the ability for certain people to be able to do Roth conversions. And the deduction that I'm going to teach you on Tuesday is now going to be lowered next year, and they'd lower it even more, get rid of it. It left up to this Bidenomics BS administration. Folks, you work hard for your money. Let's get to work. Retirementprotected.com, retirementprotected.com.